Hey folks, a couple of quick tips for pulling handles. So I like to pull handles in series, so I pull a lot at a time. And I'm starting off with something that looks kind of handle shaped, long and skinny. I'm gonna just tap this out, rounding it using gravity. And then I can even kind of go the long way to get it to lengthen a little bit on its own. Okay, so then, just by working it softens up a little bit. Now I'm gonna move over here to where I have a bucket inside my sink. Okay. And I'm going to pull right over the bucket. And I start off just by wetting my hands and feeling the clay. So don't do too much at first, because this part of just feeling the clay is going to get everything lined up. You don't have to muscle this too much. Just kind of make your hand into a circular shape. Make sure you're breathing, especially exhaling. And then eventually I start using my thumb to create evenness, and also sandwiching the piece between my fingers like this. So I go back and forth between kind of a round pull, a round shape of my hands, which helps, well, everything helps lengthen and create the shape. And then I also sometimes turn the whole thing around, and that'll give me like a whole new surface to work with. By turning it around, it stays symmetrical because your hands are not symmetrical. So it'll help the handle stay even. Okay, so then what I usually do is clip off the very bottom, because inevitably, if you don't focus enough on it, it winds up having a little lump on the bottom. So I just get rid of that. And then I have a bat that's wet down. It's wiped down, and I've already done some, you can see. I only need a few more here. So what I do is I think about the size of this is called either a lug or a blank, the size that I need for the pieces that I'm going to be pulling. I'll pull these lugs directly off of the pot, and I just clip it off between my fingers. That gives me this shape, which is very nice to press into a surface and get full contact, instead of cutting them flat with a tool, where then you have a chance of creating air if you put a flat piece onto a flat surface. So I recommend this, pinching it off. And I just pinch until it starts getting too thick here, and then I'll pull more. I actually don't need to do this because that's all the handles I need, but let's just go ahead and do it again. I'll just clean off my hands. Again, I'm back to the beginning now. I'm going from a thick area to a thin, so I want to just start with this very gentle, more feeling the clay than anything. Feeling it, and then it'll start to feel kind of regular in your hand. It'll start to feel smooth. And just by touching it like that, your hands will kind of work out the kinks. And then you can start adding a little more pressure and actually pulling and going back and forth between this circular shape and this flat shape, either between two fingers like that, or with I use my thumb knuckle. Now this is a specific style of handle that has a channel in the middle. This is a handle that I've always made that I like, but I've also seen other handles that I really like and I don't know how to make. I actually have made some of them, but where there's kind of a high point in the middle. So anyway, I'm just teaching you this one that I know really well, but it's not the only kind of handle. And then I go back and I clip these off and add them to my little growing mountain. And you can see I can just stack them right on top of each other, because they're gonna get pulled some more, so they don't have to be babied at this point. They're pretty much ready to go onto the pots like this. But I could also leave them overnight. I could cover them with a little plastic. You don't want them to dry out too much, but sitting out for a bit, depending on your environment, is okay. Like they can stiffen up just a little bit. Okay, hope that was helpful.